Well, good afternoon, and thank you for being here with us today. I'm happy to have the role of explaining to you why the African School of Regulation, the ASR, this initiative has been created, what are our plans, what we are doing, what we plan to do for the future. In a couple of weeks, the UN Secretary General will use these words to announce that the rescue plan for the people and the planet is urgently needed. And he will say that we are not making enough progress in the Sustainable Development Goals, that the most vulnerable people in the planet will suffer most, and that we need a change, a shift in commitment, solidarity, financing, and action to put the world in a better path, and that it is needed now. So what is our response? Well, we think that the African School of Regulation, with the ambition that Mamadou has just explained, we are trying to bring together the influence that policy and regulation have in energy and climate change, and to build human capital that the energy sector needs in Africa, and try with that to achieve the objectives of the Agenda 2063 for a sustainable development of the continent. And I will explain how we try to do that. So in my brief presentation of 10 minutes, I will tell you about what is this ASR initiative, and then to describe what is our plan to get a mature institution functioning in a span of 5 years. So I will start with the current situation and how the ASR initiative was created. This ASR has several mothers and fathers. We could say that it started with a project funded by the Rockefeller Foundation with MIT. I was the director of the MIT group, called the Global Commission to End Energy Poverty. And that idea of a school of providing capacity in Africa was created there. But also there was the European Union and the African Union creating a joint working group I was part of to decide how could collaborate in the area of energy in different aspects, different fields. One of them was capacity building. And there was a report that was presented that I was leading that effort. And then we had some leaders, Kande Jumkela, former UN Vice Secretary for Development, and Carlo Papa, the director of the Enel Foundation, that were pioneers in bringing together different institutions and creating the atmosphere to have a critical mass of organizations that decided to give the commitment to 9 of them that you have here, that I will not read for you, but that will be managing the initiative, the parties to the ASR agreement. And they decided that temporarily the management of the logistics of this initiative would be carried out by the European University, the Florence School of Regulation, that could be considered like a model to be adopted and reinvented in the context of Africa. Okay, so the context to create the ASR is favorable. It is now. I think that there are different initiatives in Africa in capacity building, in energy regulation, but we need scope, we need dimension, we need to attend to the different regions, we need to fill the gaps. There are excellent initiatives, excellent activities going on, but our idea is to cooperate with what exists. We have contacted many organizations, and we have obtained unanimous support from all of them in the implementation of the ASR. We launched a call for organizations to host the ASR. We received a very wide response with 20 first-class organizations in Africa applying to be the host. We decided, and we are very happy of doing that, the African Capacity Building Foundation, because it is not a technical institution, but it's an institution with a very long and broad experience in incubating organizations like the one that we want to create. Well, transitorily, as I said, this is managed by the European University, Florence School of Regulation, and I am not an African person, I am from Spain, but we are making all the possible efforts to, in a short period of time, to replace me with an African director. And funding, we have presently funding from Rockefeller Foundation mostly. The European Commission is also collaborating, and the NL Foundation. Now our task is to look for long-term funding. Our vision is, as has been said before, to develop the body of knowledge and human capital that is needed in energy regulation in Africa, as enabling the development that is needed. What we do is to look at the best international practice, look at the reality in Africa, understand it, and then to propose new solutions in regulation that are adapted to the needs. We do that, well, like a school does, with training courses, convening people in policy dialogues, doing applied research, responding to practical regulatory problems that exist, and creating a body of knowledge that could be used by anybody. We plan to be financed with the revenues that generate with our activities, and to complement, to cover the entire cost of the organization with the contributions of multiple donors associated to the activities that we do, or just directly. This is the model that we have followed for 20 years with the Florence School of Regulation, of which I am the director of training and was co-founder. And it works quite well. We cover 70% with our activities and 30% with contributions from multiple donors. And we have prepared a 5-year plan that we will be presenting to get funding in the long term. So in the second part, I will talk about what we plan to do. We want to establish, and we have started to do that, actionable collaborations with Pan-African organizations, and to serve them for instance, contributing to the single energy market at the continent. We are searching for stability from an institutional viewpoint, and for that, and this will be facilitated by the African Capacity Building Foundation, we will have legal personality. We will establish with our host country, Ghana, a hosting agreement. We will develop our relationship with our host. We will have an statute, a portfolio of activities, etc. We acknowledge that Africa is huge and very diverse. We have to look at Africa country by country, and because of that, we envision a network type of organization. So the hub will be in Accra, the headquarters, but we will take advantage of the 20 applications that we have to host the ASR. We have established already collaborations, or we have started to analyze that. We have here Strathmore University is one of them, with some of them, and we want to take advantage of this relationship that we have established with all these 20 organizations spread over Africa. Then we plan to reach maturity much faster than what we did with the Florence School of Regulation, only in 5 years. And we are developing now a system of governance with an executive director managing board, advisory board, academic committee, funders committee, etc. And finally, well, what we are going to do is for training to respond to the needs of energy regulation of professionals at all levels, from executive to people that are starting their careers in energy, focusing obviously on African issues. We will organize events, and we have been doing that. So somehow we are being launched today, but we have existed for the last year, and many of you have participated in some of the activities that we have done, 3-day virtual conferences, policy dialogues, webinars, and some of the training courses that we are organizing. Yesterday I was teaching a course to 130 virtually from here, young African participants in the course on regulation for Sustainable Development Goal 7. And well, we want to build a body of regulatory knowledge, and this is a big challenge because the problems in Africa are different from the problems in other places. I have learned that the hard way. And we want to create something that is not talking by regulation for talking about regulation. We have to propose sound regulation that really will make a difference. And well, we will be focusing on all aspects of energy regulation. You have here from electricity and gas supply, from on-grid to off-grid, digitalization, industrialization, clean cooking, heating efficiency, the clean transformation initiative. All that is included in what we want to do. And well, this is the end of my presentation. I will tell you that the African School of Regulation, our host institution, and the different organizations that are supporting us, I think that we will do our best to accomplish the mission that we have been given. Thank you.